Hello there, this is Star Warden. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking about Star Wars. And it's something that I feel like a lot about. The characters, I love the story, I love the settings. I love the settings. So, I'm going to be talking about my favorite or least favorite movies. And or. I have my sister next to me again, so she's going to be hanging out with us, likely annoying me. And so I'm also going to be talking about my favorite series. The series are amazing. For those who haven't seen all of them, I beg you to see them. I would say start with the Clone Wars, because it almost sets up everything from Ahsoka, Rebels, The Mandalorian. And so I'm going to be talking about that today. But first, I'm going to start with all my favorite characters. Number one, I'm going to be having a video about this later, but my favorite character is Ahsoka. Little clip, little Lego. I have some other things, but I'm gonna wait to show you for that certain episode. So, what I love about Ahsoka is she has she has a lot of character development. And so, when she first came on screen, she was 14 years old, and she was kind of bratty, honestly. She earned the name Snips because she was being kind of snippy about this. And then she called Anakin Skywalker Sky Guy. So we got Snips and Sky Guy. All my people out there who know what I'm talking about, let's go. And so, but she just goes through so much character development. She goes from one lightsaber to, reverse hand, and two. And then she goes through, three different colors. She goes through green, then the next one she has green and kind of yellowish, and then she gets blue, which I have to say those are probably my favorite, and then the white ones, because Ahsoka left the Jedi Order because I'm gonna be talking about this in my Ahsoka episode, but because she didn't feel like she could trust anyone anymore, and so she left. But she came back in the 7th season of Clone Wars, and so she looks like this. She turns to an awesome character with an awesome fighting style character design. And then Order 66 happened. And I'm still going to be talking about this more. So, but yeah, Season 7, I love it. Watch all the seasons, definitely, before you get to there. Unless, you have a lot of stuff and you're really busy in life. Because 7 seasons is a lot. And thankfully, it's good. It's really good. I love a good long 7 seasons. My second favorite character is Sabine Wren. I love her for I love how cool and artsy she is. I'm pretty artsy myself. I can't do what Sabine does, but she's the thing is, she seems, in season 1 of Rebels, she seems so I want to say carefree, but not really. She seems just kind of like an average teenager. But when you get deeper into the seasons, it turns out she's actually been through so much. Her family and stuff. She's separated from her family because she feels so much guilt on something that she did. And so now, she changed her Mandalorian armor and it's so colorful. And she always changes her hair. And so, but in Ahsoka, in the live-action version of her in Ahsoka, when I've talked to my friends, and then they're like, I don't like how she cut her hair, and I'm like, guys, this is a classic. This is a classic. And so, seeing her in Ahsoka, I'm like, they got the casting perfect. And so I love it. And yeah, I just think she's such a cool, awesome character. What upsets me, though, is in Ahsoka, how come she doesn't have a jetpack like she did in Rebels? I'm confused. What happened to her jetpack? Somebody tell me. And then, in no, order or anything, from now on, no more order, but I know this seems weird, but another one of my favorite characters is Darth Maul. I just think he's a really cool villain. I mean, villains these days, they have, so little depth into them. Think about the High Evolutionary in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I won't say anything because I don't want this to be a big spoiler episode, but what does he really have against the world? I mean, like, he's a evil dude, but yeah. And then with, like, Darth Maul, though, he was a Sith. He was a Sith apprentice. Then Obi-Wan cut him in half. Then he fell. And then for everybody out there who's not watched Clone Wars or Rebels or anything, he lives. So, quick spoiler, yeah, he lives. And he's now on this search of revenge. He has fake legs now. And then he lost his brother, Savage Opress. And he's been through some stuff. So his master, Darth Sidious, Palpatine, he came up to Maul and he's like, no. And then he killed Savage, and then Darth Maul, and then he left Darth Maul alive. And so then Darth Maul conducted the Siege of Mandalore, which is important in Season 7. And then Order 66 happened. He went off, and then now he's on a search for Obi-Wan Kenobi. And that leads to so many awesome episodes in Star Wars Rebels. I won't spoil it. But yeah, I think Darth Maul has a lot of deep things. And then the last character I'm going to bring up is Rey. I know a lot of people out there are going to go like, really? Rey? Really? So first of all, I haven't seen the sequels in a little while. It's been a minute. But I think Rey's pretty awesome. She's pretty cool. And I won't listen to everybody out there saying, no! That was the saddest no ever. So, what I like about Rey is, like, her staff, first of all. I love her staff. It's like, I do bow staff for martial arts, and when I was taking bow staff classes, I was like, I feel like Rey. Why do I feel like Rey? And then her hairstyle, I think, is pretty cool. Her character design, it's like standard Jedi looking, but like a little bit more of scavenger, so. But yeah, Rey's pretty cool. So that kind of concludes my little section on characters. And then I'm going to be talking about movies. My 3 favorite movies are going to be Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. Just so you know, for me, I love sad things, like watching the Clone Wars. I was like, no, Master Plo Koon, who, don't say he's ugly. He is an amazing character. But then his ship got shot down in Revenge of the Sith. And, oh my goodness, this is so sad. But, like, watching all the Jedi, like, we grown to know and love in the Clone Wars, and watching them just die without any, like, in Order 66. I mean, like, that was deep. And, like, all the Jedi are dead. Like, a lot of them died. But for me, I'm like, I love sad movies. I love it when things make me cry. And that is something weird about me. And so my second one is Episode 9. Like, for me, I'm a Star Wars fan. I love all Star Wars. There's no good or bad Star Wars. It's just Star Wars. So if you're saying, no, these movies are better than the other ones, I'm like, leave. Just leave. And so Episode 9 I like because I feel like it brought back Lando. I feel like that was pretty cool. But in the final, like, battle, Palpatine, he came back pretty useless. And I'm like, you can't just stick to one bad guy for the entirety of 1 to 9 movies. I mean, like, it was kind of cool seeing him back, but not really. He wasn't that powerful. He had the zappy hands thing, but that was probably it. But the Force Dyad thing, I think that was kind of cool. But the thing is, I haven't seen it in a little while, so I probably need to rewatch it. So I like the changes in scenery and stuff. But yeah, that's like one of my favorites. And then this isn't really in any order except for Episode 3. Episode 3 is my favorite. Episode 6, however, worst part about it is when the Rancor came up. It had just had slobber running down its face. And I'm like, oh, that is disgusting. That was probably the worst part of it. But other than that, I think that it's just a really cool movie. I mean, like, Yoda dying, he was just kind of like, I need to go to sleep, and then he just faded away. And so, then with Luke going like, but I am a Jedi now. Leia's my sister. So that, pretty good movie. And Ewoks are adorbs. Absolutely adorbs. My sister's looking at me. We're stuck with her, guys. Darth Vader's turned from dark side to light side, I'd say. I mean, like in episode 3, he was like, yay, I'm so excited, I'm gonna have a kid. And then in that, he's like, oh no, my kid that I was so excited about is gonna die because of my master. So he just threw him in there. Well, threw Palps out the window. And then he's like, Luke, come closer. And then, I am your father. But, yeah, and then the thing is, he didn't know about Leia until that movie. He didn't know he didn't know Padme had twins. And so, learning about Leia, he's like, sister. Looking over my sister right now, like. So, but yeah, just think about Darth Vader's story or Anakin Skywalker's story. I mean, it's just really tragic. Like, it's just crazy. And then, pretty cool lightsaber fights also. Star Wars is known for its epic duels. I love it. My favorite series are definitely the Clone Wars, because it's just so long, and you get to see these characters grow, and you get to know more about them. Like, I have this Star Wars poster behind me, and right here, that dude right there, Even Keel. He's not that tall, trust me. He's as short as Master Yoda over there. But he didn't make it to Order 66. He died in the Clone Wars. Small spoiler for everybody else who hasn't finished it. But he was in a couple episodes, and he just has a really cool, accent, and he's, so... It was just so feeling, and so... It was just, you get to know all about these characters, I don't know where Kit Fisto is, but... Kit Fisto, I'm not sure he's up here, but... He could breathe underwater. He's actually really cool. So he has, the green stuff on his head and the big black eyes. But we get to know more about him and Plo Koon. He should be around here. He's, in the back, behind Boss Nass. But Plo Koon, he found Ahsoka as a child and was like, hold on, you're Force sensitive. And so he brought her back. He was kind of like a mentor to her. So they have this special connection. And I just feel like whenever Plo Koon died, I was like, no, Plo. And so we get to watch him kind of care for Ahsoka over the seasons. We got to learn more about him. But the reasons why the Clone Wars is 7 seasons. It finished in 2020. But it's just amazing. And 7 seasons is pretty good. I'm excited to see the Wing for the Saga in 7 seasons. For, in case you didn't know, 7 seasons. They're going to be splitting up books, though, so I'm going to be mad. But yeah, my second favorite... Actually, not second favorite. This isn't in any particular order. But next up on my list is Rebels. Rebels is really cool. I've seen a lot of character development happening. Hera and Kanan, the Hera and Kanan ship. I'm like, let's go. The Hera and Kanan ship. I mean, I love them. They're amazing. And Ezra and Sabine, everybody's like, oh, they totally go together. I'm like, they're more like brothers and sister. God, they're more like brother. It's more of a sibling relationship. Although, the Ghost family, they're part of a family. They love each other. They're brothers and sisters. Can't tell me no. And then, but with Ezra Bridger and his character development, he started out as pretty much Aladdin. And he's a little street rat. So he's just scrounging for food. Then he finds Kanan. And then he finds out he's Force sensitive. And then he goes through all these crazy adventures. And it turns out in season 4, you went from this little kid, he was also 14, to like a strong Jedi Knight at the age of 19. And then in Star Wars Ahsoka, we get to see him in live action. And agree with me on this. Everybody out there who has seen The Chosen, agree with me. Ezra live action looks like he could just star in it. He could play any character. He is another space Jesus out there. But when he first came up, I was like, Mom, why does he look like he could star in The Chosen? So anybody out there who agrees with me and has seen The Chosen, good. Also, if you haven't seen The Chosen, it's on Angel Studios, just like Wingfeather is. It's pretty much the story of Jesus and his disciples. We're at season 3 right now. I don't know, season 4 is coming soon. But let's not stray. This is a Star Wars episode. My third favorite is Ahsoka. Actually, no, never mind. Not third favorite in any order. It's Ahsoka. I just loved seeing all my favorite characters in Star Wars come back into live action. And when Sabine first came up, it was like perfect. She had a speeder bike. She had literally rock music going on. I'm like, this is so Sabine, guys. And so I was literally like screaming when Ahsoka came out, like over 2 months ago. I don't know. It was like months ago. But I've been waiting for that show to come out for 2 years. And so it was the night. I just came back from all my daily activities that day. And so I'm like, I had to get it set up. I was like, it's out. We're watching it. And then when Sabine came on, I was like, guys, help me. I'm gonna die. And so, but I just love it. I mean, there's so many hidden details in there. Like, let me think of one. I'm trying to think of some hidden details I noticed. In Mandalorian, though, with the Purrgil coming in, like, and Baby Yoda seeing Grogu, I should say. Baby Yoda turning to see them. I saw a little, like, theory video where it was that those were the Purrgil that Ahsoka was in. I think that's pretty true. And so, I think that's true. I think Ahsoka was in those Purrgil on her way to go save them. And then Master Hu Yang, in case you didn't know, he was in the Clone Wars for a couple of episodes. And so seeing him in live action, I'm like, cool. Pretty cool. But the thing is, like, Ahsoka training Sabine to be a Jedi, I'm not sure I'm, like, all in on that. Sabine has learned to use a lightsaber before because she did wield the Darksaber for quite some time. Not quite some time, for a little while. But Sabine using the Force, it feels weird. Kind of weird, but just think about it. She's the first Jedi Mandalorian ever since that one dude from before the Clone Wars even. It was like, I forget his name. He was part of the Vizsla line, ancestry line or something. But something that I loved is just when they get to the other galaxy and stuff. More spoilers, sorry. But all the little creatures, I mean, like the little wolf dog thing with like the big snout and cute eyes. I was like, it's so cute. I feel like Lily in that one episode. It's so cute. No, but I just feel like, and then the little crab people, they're just adorable. They are peaceful people. They are adorable. So, the Loth Cats also. I love how they squeezed so much in there. And I cannot wait for a season 2 if they decide to make one. Also, if Star Wars is asking for permission, yes, make it. I need it to survive. So, that's a little thing about like my favorite stuff. And then something else I like about things I like about like Star Wars just in particular is how much the story has grown since whatever year Star Wars came out. I can't think about it right now, but like watching all these characters go through so many things, you're like, oh my goodness, this could never happen to me in real life. So kind of being transported into a story. I mean, the most exciting thing that's happened to me in my life is like, I don't know, I broke a bowl yesterday and I cut my hand. But they get to go through like real life problems. And I mean, like, I wouldn't want to go through any of those problems, but at least having a little bit of action could be fun. And so there was all like the swords and the blasters and lightsabers, cool characters and like tech and droids and stuff like that. It's just so fun to be transported into one of those worlds and then just become part of it. I mean, that's what I love about a lot of these things I'm going to be talking about. And another thing I like is all the settings. The settings are pretty cool. Like, Felucia is a really cool world. And Tatooine, and Dagobah, Kashyyyk, Lothal, Coruscant. I almost called it Croissant, guys. Croissant. But it's just so fun, like, seeing all the, like, cool scenery changes, and, like, light speed is precious. It is amazing. But I just feel like being transported into the world of the galaxy of Star Wars, or the world of Wingfeather, of Guardians of the Galaxy, of Green Ember, of anything like that, like, just transporting yourself into on screen or in a book, it's amazing. Like, you're part of the story. And that's what I like about all these things. It's just crazy. I'm reading Wingfeather for the 4th time, and I'm like, I got to one of the best parts, and I'm like, oh, I wish I was there. And so, but when you're reading or watching something, you can be there and watch. Like, this is amazing. But anyways, that was my little video on Star Wars. I said it would be short, but apparently we made it to 24 minutes. And so what I'm going to be doing later is my next thing, I'm probably going to be talking about the Wingfeather Saga, a lot of it. No spoilers, I'm hoping. If there is, I'll put a little spoiler thing to let you know. But, and then I also, like, last night and this morning, I finished a little video that I'm going to be posting later. It's going to be a Wingfeather Saga memes video. I haven't seen a lot of those, so I'm excited. I'm hoping for maybe a part 2, maybe a part 3, but that's what I'm planning on doing. I may be posting some art. So yeah, may the Force be with you guys.